Hello, Savannah Ulrich here. In this video, I'm going to be taking you on a tour of my Week 1 module. So we're going to start with the Part 2 of Week 1 overview. And in this page, I thoroughly explain what the learning objectives are for this week, and I go over what the assignments are that they will be doing to learn those objectives. Next is the written lecture, and here is where I talk about the world building process and what goes into it. What 13 aspects are the most important in creating that world for game development. And at the bottom, I have 3 helpful sources that explain in detail these aspects. I did a lot of detail, but these go into a thorough explanation of how each is very involved in the world developing process. Next, I found this awesome TED Talk on how to build a fictional world. I'm not going to show it in this tour video, but if you guys want to go look it up, it's awesome. It's really, really well done. It's How to Build a Fictional World by Kate Mesner. Recommended, definitely. And then after that was the world discussion. And in the world discussion, I wanted an upload of an original character design dedicated to that world that was created. And then 3 details of the world, including a type of weather, a creature appearance, a tree appearance. And then I wanted communication on all of these ideas so that there could be branching out and there could also be more ideas spurned from the talking, because when you talk to people about a idea or a development in your creative process, it actually grows. I have talked to my teammates and friends, and every time I do, I have this completely different idea than what I first started out with, and it's better than before. Next is the interactive game for world encounters, and this is more of the authentic assessment, I think. In this game, I have someone slated as the master of the game, and then I have players. And there will be 1 to 2 players, but only 1 master of the game. So the master of the game creates an encounter in their world that they have created that the players will react to in their character role. So the players create any character they want with any personality, but they have to react to that encounter as that character would. I consider this the authentic assessment because it puts students in the player's shoes and in the game developer's shoes. And I think you need to know where your roots are. If you're testing this game and you don't like it, then it means that something needs to change. And I think that it's almost like game testing in a way, which it works out the kinks in the process, and it works out all of the problems and obstacles that you would have, especially when you talk to each other about it from player to game developer. Game testing is created so that players can tell game companies what they like, and players are the statistic. They are the average person playing the game developer's game that they have created and then giving feedback on what has to change and what is really awesome about it. So I think that this game really takes a hold of that idea, because students have to talk to each other, and then after they have their own as a master of the game to players set, other masters of the game and players are going to respond to their encounter and give them feedback on either how cool it was or whether it needed a little bit of spice and flavor, or if something else should have happened to make it more interesting to the reader. So after the game, we have the world aspect write-up. And in the write-up, it is a 3-paragraph paper on an aspect, how it influences the world, how it draws in a player, and brings a world to life, so to speak. And there are 13 of them, but you only have to choose one to write about. But it should be thorough. It should be very thorough on that one aspect. Then we have presentations. And the presentations are actually going to be done in Voki. I have mine at the bottom and also a link to Voki that you can follow and create your own. But I explain up above that this assignment is only a 60-second presentation on one aspect, but I want the aspect to be different from the write-up. I want it to be a completely different one that you go into thorough explanation on instead of the same. Then we have a quiz. The quiz is only 6 questions long, but it does have a lot of matching from aspects to definitions, and it's 30 points. I have a helpful sources page with a bunch of different sources I found that are amazing. I think these two are the most powerful, though. They are job openings at BioWare for a world designer and character designer. I thought it would be helpful to see what the job outline looks like and what the career entails. Then we have an anonymous survey. It's only a few questions on what we learned in the module. But if you're finding that you don't do very well on this survey, it probably means that you need to ask questions, and I am free to answer them. And then after the anonymous survey, we have the Creating Your Portfolio assignment. And in the Creating Your Portfolio assignment, if you haven't created a VoiceThread account already, you're going to create a VoiceThread, and that is where you are going to create your portfolio. VoiceThread is actually considered a type of social media because students can comment each other back and forth through audio and text-based. And in this assignment, we're going to use both of those. So you upload the front page of the portfolio, and then you start uploading your concept designs, and that can be anything from character to object, environment, creature, you name it. And then on each of those uploads for that concept, you're going to either do a text-based comment, including what your design process was and what your idea for that object, character, or so on is, or you're going to do an audio file on that. And then as you finish that up, you're going to go to the second part of this and go to the portfolio discussion. And in the portfolio discussion, you're going to copy your VoiceThread portfolio URL and paste it into a reply comment and link it so that others can follow that link to that portfolio. When you follow the link to the portfolio, you're going to make comments of either constructive criticism and kind words or helpful tips and comments on those concepts and their design process. The portfolio discussion will go on for every week following, because there will be concepts every week created and uploaded to the portfolio. So other students will go into the discussion, follow the URLs, and create comments on those new concepts and old ones. And lastly, we have the part 2 of week 1 wrap-up. And in the wrap-up, it basically reiterates what the student was going to learn and the activities they completed to learn those objectives. And that's it. That is my module. I hope you like it and enjoy.